Why do I love and recommend trading the pre-market session, especially if you have a small account? Before we jump into today's video, I want to let everyone know that I will not be doing any trading next week. I'm stepping away, need a little downtime, a little breather, as we all do from time to time. But for anyone that is trading, that is part of our Discord community or is part of the YouTube channel, I hope everyone has a successful and profitable week. All right, one of the best opportunities that I find in trading is pre-market, before the New York session opens up to anyone that trades the US session. All right, but what I want to say and ask you guys right now is, if you're someone that's a beginner trader or someone that's new, how much money are you really looking to start funding your own account with? All right, is it $500? Is it $1,000? Is it $2,000? Or is it $5,000? I recommend anyone who is interested in trading to start off with a limited amount of funds at first. What I'm trying to say is, make sure you have enough to fund your account to start trading, but I would start with the micros first, okay? And really, some of the best trade opportunities take place pre-market, before the session actually opens. You are kind of eliminating all the volatility. There's still some volume there. And I'm going to talk about just one thing in particular. One of the key reasons why I really like to trade pre-session, all right, versus getting into and waiting for the U.S. session to open up. I trade the New York session, don't get me wrong, but when the market opens at New York time, at the New York session, I like to trade maybe the first hour, and I'm done by 11 o'clock, because the market likes to do some funny things after 11 o'clock. It typically, and most times, what you'll see is it may make a reversal and start trending in the opposite direction. Okay, so let me know down in the comments below, if you're someone that's watching the video for the first time, or someone that's been part of the channel for a while, how much money when you first started did you fund your account with? And if you're someone that's new and wanting to get into trading, and you're going through the ropes of learning the concept of trading, market structure, I'm telling you, understand structure is everything. How much money are you looking to start with? All right. If you're smart, then, like me, when I first started, I didn't have, I didn't put a lot of money into my account. I'll say it like that. Okay. Not the fact is that I have money to put away in savings to be able to do so, but I was smart about it. And why put a bunch of money into an account to where I have an improvement to myself that I'm ready for this journey to really start trading live, full-fledged, okay? So I was very, very, conscious about the funds that I placed in my account and how much money or risk I was leveraging each time. I mean, I was just kind of like penny pinching in a sense, because I wanted to test and show myself that I could do it. Because consistency is everything when you become a trader. Because without that, then you're not going to make it. You have to prove to yourself. All right. So pre-market to me is one of the best ways and times to trade. And what am I talking about? You say, Mike, what time would that be? I like to look at the market around like 7:30. All right, maybe up to about 9 o'clock. Good time frame to look to see if there's opportunities for trades, but also be mindful about news, because a lot of days you'll see, or most days you'll see, an economic news event that takes place around 8:30, and those can be some heavy hitting news events that really shove the market. So be careful about not trading around that 8:30 time if we have news. Now, what you'll typically see on your charts, and I'm gonna go over right quick for anyone that's been trading long enough. And you've probably seen this already. You have three trading sessions when it comes to futures. You got the Asian session, you have the London session, and then you have the New York session. Now, I typically like to trade pre-market and into the New York session. Sometimes I'll trade depending on if it's a good setup in the Asian session. But one thing you have to be very mindful about the Asian session is the fact is that the volume is not there like it is in the London or the New York session. But what I'm trying to say is, the reason that I like to take pre-market trades is because, like I said, it's not loads of volatility. There's still some volume there. And typically speaking, the market in most days, if you pay close attention, whatever takes place during the Asian and London session. So let's say that those two markets are starting to, in this case here, I'm going to show you an example on the 60 range chart. I trade range-based charts and I trade supply and demand, where the market starts to dump to the downside, meaning moving lower after the close of the prior session or the prior day session. Asian session opens up, then we start to move lower. Okay, so we start to go from a bearish stance or movement to the downside, Asian going into London. Typically on what happens is the reverse of prior to the New York session opening. Okay, so typically at the run or the close of the London session, you'll start to see the market kind of shift around, and then during when the New York session opens up, it starts to move in the opposite direction. That's most times, a lot of times what you'll see, I'm not gonna say most, you'll see that happen. So if we're bullish during the Asian leading to the London, then typically what you'll see is during the US session, or the New York session, the market will start going the opposite direction. But that's not always the case. I'm just kind of letting you know that if you look at the chart, sometimes you'll see, where that's taking place. Again, Asian going to London session, bullish, and then when the turnaround time comes from the London going into the New York session, you'll find that the market may move in the opposite direction. Again, that's not always what happens, but pre-market times are very good opportunities because whatever's taking place coming out of the London session, kind of ramping up, moving into the US session or New York session, when the market starts to, you'll see the market start to maybe move in the opposite direction. Typically, however, the market is moving, say at 7:30, 8 o'clock, whatever the case is, and it will continue moving in that direction. All right, you'll see nice pullbacks to either demand or supply areas, and then you can catch opportunities. And most times, the market's going to continue moving in that direction. It's only up until when the New York session happens. So if we're trending to the upside or the market is pushing higher, and all it's doing pre-session or pre-market is pushing higher, pulling back to areas of demand, all the way up until the opening of the New York session. That may happen for the first hour into the US session or New York session. And then around about 11 o'clock, a lot of times you may see reversals that take place in the market where the market was pre-session, bullish, and then boom, 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock, somewhere, I'm not saying that a specific time. I'm just saying you'll start to see with the market, if it's bullish pre-session leading up into the opening of the New York session, it may have a reversal in the market, move the opposite direction. Or if it's bearish and then you're taking trades going short pre-market, okay, and you see pullbacks to key areas of supply up into the New York session, those trades will typically move in the same direction where you can look for pullback to an area of supply and continuing taking that direction of that short. I love it. That's the reason why I love to trade the pre-market and pre-session, because whatever is really taking place as far as movement in the market, if we're moving higher pre-session or pre-market, then I can just look for a pullback to go long and continue. It's not until the market really starts to get volatile at the New York session that some crazy stuff may start to happen. I don't trade the first 30 minutes almost of the market open, so that gives me a narrow about an hour's trading time after the New York session opens to really trade, because I know at some point, maybe around 11 o'clock, they're probably going to, and it could possibly be reversal. Now, that's not always going to happen. I'm not saying that to look for that every single day. It's just some possibilities of things that I've seen over the years that do take place. But again, whatever's going on in the Asian or London session, typically speaking, the market will do in reverse of, or moving in reverse of, into the New York session. So just kind of be mindful of those things. But pre-market sessions, again, however the market's trending or moving, you can always bet your bottom dollar that you can continue taking trades in the same direction. All right, if it's moving lower, we're bearish, pull back to supply, go short. Same thing, bullish, pull back to demand, go long. It typically, you'll see this time and time again. If you look at your charts, whatever the direction is, lead up to, unless we have economic news at 8:30 and everything can wash up and be out the door. All right, I'll be honest with you. Like this morning, if you took a look here, because we had NFP, and I mentioned about NFP is a big week, especially Fridays when we have non-farm payrolls. It's not, to me, I don't like trading. That's why I'm really not keen on trading on non-farm payroll days, because the market does some wild stuff. But anyways, and even on FOMC weeks where we have a major news event on a Wednesday or whatever the case is. But like today, the market this morning, you saw what it did. right here. It came up here and ran these highs. I mean, look, we were bearish yesterday, okay, on the 60 range chart, but overall we were still bullish on the higher base charts, like my 120, still showing me some bullish direction in the market. But again, we broke structure here, meaning we broke above this high right here at 123, and that came out of the economic news this morning. Non-farm payrolls at 8:30. Boom, broke to the upside and broke that area structure. And then look what happened. Immediately after it did that, it just tumbled to the downside. You can't trade around the news events. You'll get, like, I'm telling you, like, you may get lucky, people who try to play that crazy game, but then it's going to burn you at some point, and it's going to burn you real bad. So stay out of the news even during pre-market times or pre-session times, around 8:30. But again, 7:30 on up to about 9 o'clock are some good opportunities, as long as we don't have any economic impactful news. And that's for anyone that is on the Eastern time frame. Okay, I should say Eastern Standard time frame. Okay, if you lived out west somewhere down there, that could be a lot harder for you. If you live in California, it's like 4:30 in the morning, so that may be a little bit difficult or tough for you to trade during that time of the morning. But again, start small with a limited, if you're limited to funds, all right? And if you are, definitely look at the future markets, micros, all right? Trade the micros, the NASDAQ, the ES, the Dow, great opportunities there. Yes, the tick value is not as as high, but the margins are a lot smaller to be able to trade, and you can still trade multiple contracts, but with a $500 account, I wouldn't really overdo it, okay? If I had $500 to start with, I would really only be trading with maybe one contract, depending on the, which market I'm going to trade. If it was the ES, I wouldn't trade no more than maybe a contract, definitely two contracts, all right? I wouldn't overdo it. The NASDAQ, most brokers, what is it, like $100 a contract, so that means you have to have at least $100 in your account to trade one contract. So each contract, you have to have $100. So if you have $500 to trade with, yeah, you could trade 5 contracts, but I wouldn't trade. Honestly, I would test the waters with just one contract. You can still build a small account. You have to probably, make sure you're getting good trade setups. And like me, I'm looking for 20-point runners. It's pretty easy to do that on the NASDAQ if you're looking and waiting patiently for great setups. 20 points. Run on the NASDAQ. It's not a lot of money when it comes to trading micros, but still it's something if you think about it. You're only taking $500 and you can make $40 just trading one contract on 20 points, okay? Because 20 points is actually 80 ticks, because 20 points times 4, because there's 4 ticks in each point on the NASDAQ. It moves in increments of quarter points. So quarter, half, 3/4, and then a point. 4 ticks on that gives you 1 point. So it's 20 points times 4. That's 80 ticks times the tick value, which is 50 cents a tick. That gives you $40 on one contract. On $500, that's a good margin to make. All right. So if you did that on 2 trades, that you can make $80 a day. You can build an account that way. So once you, and not what I'm trying to say really is, $500 is not a lot of money, but you could get your feet wet and gain the experience with $500 to prove to yourself that you can actually trade and trade consistently, while at the same time making some extra money, okay, to use or to keep in that account and to build up account. That's just, that's gravy on top of the rice, to where you can actually be able to trade more over time and build up an account to possibly we want to switch from trading the micros and move over to the full on fledged E-minis, okay, the NQ, to where you don't have to trade the MNQ anymore. Maybe you want to trade the NQ, where the tick value goes from 50 cents a tick to $5 a tick, or the ES, where it goes from $1.25 a tick and it moves up to $12.50 a tick. It's a big difference. It's 10 times the amount. So, but again, be mindful pre-market. Look for setups like that, because I'm telling you, the market, whatever direction is kind of moving in, 90% of the time, most times what I see, it's going to do that almost up until the time before, New York session, okay? So that's why I love trading pre-market sessions. I try to get in at least one scalp then, and then one scalp maybe once the market opens up. Sometimes I can get in one scalp pre-market, and I'm one and done, all right? But again, $500 trading on a small account, you can do it, but definitely do so. I would do it pre-market, looking for great setups, and I would make sure to trade just one contract at a time. All right. But I mean, if you want to be hard headed and trade 2 contracts, then that's just fine too. All right. You'll be doubling up on one trade. Instead of making 40 bucks, you can make 80 bucks on a 20-point move. All right. If you choose to do that. But just, I know $500 is not a lot of money. And if you blow $500, it's not like you lost $5,000. But $500, even to some people, can be a lot of money, especially if you're taking that $500, which could be your, to pay your, to put food on the table, or pay a light bill and your water bill and your utilities and all that stuff. Nah, you don't want to gamble that way. Take money that you have put into savings for trading, not money into savings that you put in there for rainy days, but money you put away in a separate account for your trading. Use that money, okay? But outside of that, that's all I have to really share today. I hope everyone has a safe and a successful trading day. If you are trading today, again, we just had NFP, so this was a kind of a tough week in a sense. I mean, not a lot of, there were opportunities, but there was also news that really kind of shoved the market around. So major news event weeks, and you really want to be mindful and be selective of trades that you do take, okay? If you're someone new that's watching the channel for the first time, you're not a subscriber, please take the time to go ahead and click on that subscribe button. Make sure to turn your post notifications on so you don't miss one of the uploads, because I have loads of valuable content already posted here on the channel. There's like 800 videos. You say, wow, that's a lot of videos to watch. Yes, it is, but there's a lot of valuable content if you spend the time with pen and pad and take notes. You can understand a very systematic and strategic way of trading using a wonderful strategy that works if you put the time and effort in. Back testing, forward testing. We have tons. Well, I should say tons. We have a lot of members that are part of our Discord community that have successfully traded the strategy and are doing well themselves. I'll say that. Lots of them are still learning. Lots of them have sent me so many testimonial statements telling me that, Mike, thank you for spending the time showing me how to trade range charts, showing me how to trade, not saying one-on-one, but through the video content of providing a means to share the trading strategy and how I trade it. And I'm glad to see you guys are doing well and things are working out with the strategy for you. And it can work out for you just as well, but spend some time watching the videos. If you're interested in becoming an elite member here on the channel, find the link down in the description portion of the video. Click on that. The Discord is free. The link is in the description. If you want to become an elite member, it's only $6.99. You get the trade breakdowns where I'll walk you through my trades that I take and just give you the full-on understanding of why I took that trade, including the stop loss placement areas, profit target areas, what I was thinking and why I took that trade. It helps people out tremendously. I can't tell you how many times people have told me those videos have helped them a lot. So if you're interested in becoming an elite member, scroll down, click on the link that says become a elite channel member, and 2 tiers will pop up. Make sure to choose the one that says $6.99 to become an elite channel member, or elite channel member. I think that's how it's titled. And what you're basically doing is supporting my efforts as a content creator, and I'm providing some perks and rewards back to you through the YouTube tier membership program. So again, if you're interested, join link below. All right, that's all I have to share with you guys. I appreciate everyone tuning in and watching the video today. Have a wonderful and safe weekend. And if you found value in today's video, please drop a like on the video. Take care. See you in the next one.